graders. Welcome to Mrs. Brenner's virtual 4th grade math classroom. The reason I'm doing these videos for you this week is because we have to be at home one more week for our lessons while we wait for the SJBA building to be completely ready. And I wanted to make it easier on your moms, so I thought I would teach you the lessons, the new lessons, through these videos. So, we're going to start with lesson 10, evens and odd numbers. This should be a review for you guys, but we're just going to go through the lesson to make sure everybody knows all that there is to know about our even and our odd numbers. Okay, let's get started. The numbers we say when we count by twos are even numbers when we start with 2. Notice that every even number ends with 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. For example, do this with me. Let's count by 2 starting with 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, and so on. You guys have been doing this for a long time, I know. These are even numbers because they end in one of these digits. So notice that I say they end in one of these digits. That's the key. Let's work on a little problem. Let's practice this. Which one of these numbers is even? I'm going to write 3 numbers down. First one is 463, 285, and 456. 3 numbers. Only one of these numbers is even. Can you tell me which one? By the way, class, you should be using your whiteboards to try to answer the questions that I ask, just to see if you're understanding it. That'll be a great way to increase your learning while we do these. So the key to figuring out if a number is even or odd is to look at the last digit, the ones column. That's what tells you if a number is even or odd. So we have 3 numbers here. Only one of them is even. Oh, I've got a pupil in the back raising her hand. Sophia Brenner, what do you think?
456.
I'm glad you got that right. Yes, 456 is the right answer. Why, Sophia?
Because the last number is an even number.
Exactly. Exactly. We look at the last digit. The last digit here is a 3, and it is not one of these numbers, right? So it is not an even number. Nor is 5. It's not up on this list. 6, however, is an even number. And so this entire number is even. The number that's in the ones column, or the last digit, determines whether the entire number is even or odd. It doesn't matter how big that number is. It's always that number in the last digit that in the last column. The digit in the last column is what decides if it's an even or an odd number. Okay, so now that we've got a good idea about what makes an even number, let's also talk about odd numbers. So I'm going to walk over here. Sorry, let me get my book. I'm going to walk over here and talk about odds. All odd numbers will end in 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. Count with me for a minute. Our odd numbers. So count by 2s, starting with 1. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, and so on. You get the idea. You guys have been doing this since you were probably in kindergarten. But we're going to take this concept of evens and odds a little further this year, so I just wanted to make sure we started in the same place. So now that we know that these are our odd numbers, let's do a little bit more with those. This is a little challenge for you guys. Please use your whiteboard to do this. Use the digits, I'll write this down, 2, 7, and 6 to write 2 3-digit odd numbers. Use these digits, these numbers, to write 2 3-digit odd numbers. Okay, so if the number has to be odd, it has to end in an odd number, right? We want 2 3-digit odd numbers. Here are our two numbers. Okay, how are we going to do that? Remember that what determines if a number is odd or even is what's in the 1th column, the very last column. It has to be an odd number. So, is 2 an odd number? No, so we can't end in that. Is 7 an odd number? Yes, we can end in that. Is 6 an odd number? No, we can't end in that. So both of these numbers have to have 7 in the 1s column. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Now, does it matter what is in the hundreds or the tens column in either of these numbers? It doesn't, because it only matters what's in the 1s column when I'm trying to get an even or an odd number. So I'm going to switch these two around so that I have two different numbers. But here you see 267 and 627 are both odd numbers using these 3 digits. Okay, any questions on that? No? Okay, we'll move on. Here's another challenge. Let me just erase this. Okay, list 3 5-digit odd numbers that have 7 in the hundreds place and 5 in the tens place. Okay, I need 5 3-digit numbers. 5 3-digit numbers. Okay, and we need to have 7 in the hundreds column and 5 in the tens column. So what can we put there? Well, the number, if it's going to be odd, we want it to be odd, it has to end in an odd number. So we can put a 1 there, we can put a 3 there, we can put a 5 there, we can put a 7 there, and a 9 there. Do I have 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Here are 5 3-digit numbers that are all odd. Okay, good job. Just a note about even numbers. An even number of objects can be separated into 2 equal groups. That's another way you can test if it's odd or even, if a number is odd or even. Say we have